What's up everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back to some more Kingdom Hearts. Now, this is something I kinda already discussed in the past. I've made multiple videos going over the general lore of Union Cross. So this time I decided to make a specific video on this particular subject. Just the whole lore of Union Cross, which I've covered in those multiple videos, I feel like they overshadowed the idea of Master Ava. And this idea I'm referring to, guys, is the possibility of her returning in Kingdom Hearts 3 but looking much older. But dude, the foretellers died during the Keyblade War. Yes, it is assumed, but the possibility of Ava actually still being alive, it's not crazy, it's possible. And here's why, let's slowly analyze this. Master Ava was given the role by the Master of Masters to form this group called the Dandelions, those who would escape the Keyblade War, those who would keep the light alive, and make sure that the worlds wouldn't disappear completely. Now if you remember, due to the Keyblade War, the worlds got split. They all live on their own now, like the Master of Masters said. Their world used to be composed of smaller worlds. All worlds were connected until the Keyblade War happened, and the light within the Dandelions, most likely the children Kairi's grandmother was referring to, they were able to keep the worlds alive. Not in the state they used to be, but they all stand on their own. They're no longer intertwined. Anyways, the Dandelions are formed and they escaped the Keyblade War. They were told to go to this outside world, or this Unchained Realm, or how I describe it is the Realm of Sleep, where they would re-experience some of the events as explained by Master Ava. They would train there in that realm without the fear of the war happening, aka a land with no tragedy as mentioned by the Master of Masters. Now the Dandelions, except for the Union leaders, the new ones, their memories got completely wiped. Master Ava now, she was also told to go to that realm, to pretty much guide them. Where is she now? What is this scene right here in the Keyblade Graveyard? When does this take place? How does Lauriam and Ventus exist 100 years in the past? How's this all possible? Here's what I'm thinking. Either this takes place some years before Birth by Sleep or around the time Birth by Sleep is about to happen. By the time they exit the Realm of Sleep, by the time the world got restored, in other words, they ended up in the Birth by Sleep timeline, and the Keyblade Graveyard is what's left of Daybreak Town. And like I said before, the worlds are no longer intertwined. Everything stands on its own. Now if we go with the idea that they all ended up in the timeline of Birth by Sleep, well, around that time, let's say, Lauriam would grow up and join the Organization 13. Remember, between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, we have a 10-year gap. Within that time frame, Lauriam grows up and becomes Marluxia. Hey, I mean, look at Ienzo in Birth by Sleep. He was young, right? Within those 10 years, he grew up and joined Organization 13 just like Lauriam. If these guys ended up some years before Birth by Sleep, let's say more than 50 years, maybe Ventus and Lauriam both ended up in the Realm of Darkness. That would explain why Ventus is still younger Birth by Sleep. So by the time Xehanort finds Ventus, we're in the Birth by Sleep timeline. As for Lauriam, if he found Ventus, where was he? That's the question. Maybe he got out on his own somehow. And he too also ended up in the Birth by Sleep timeline, where within those 10 years he grew up and turned into Marluxia eventually. If this theory is true that the gang ended up, let's say, 50 to 70 years before Birth by Sleep, then I feel like Master Ava could perhaps be Kairi's grandmother. I don't know, cause she knows a lot about the Keyblade War, but still, she's just telling Kairi a fairy tale story. She could have read books and stuff, right? So I just wanted to point that out. Hey, I mean, if people thought that Strelitzia was Kairi's grandmother, why not consider Ava? Now back to Lauriam. If he escaped the Realm of Sleep, along with everyone in the Dandelions, could it be possible that some of the Organization 13 members could have been part of the Dandelions? Example, Larxene. We haven't seen her in real person at all. We've only seen her nobody. Is Nomura hiding something? Is he planning on revealing something soon? This actually brings me to HMK's latest theory. The Organization members having the power to summon a Keyblade, but are unable to summon it in its fullest form. That explains their weapons. His idea was along those lines. It's like they forgot that they could summon a Keyblade. And if I add the theory of some of the Dandelions being part of the Organization 13 members, then perhaps they did forget. And why is that? Because when they turned into a nobody, they simply forgot their normal lives, because they lost their heart. And once they turned into somebody again, they remembered. They did not remember wielding holding a Keyblade. They simply remembered their days of the Organization 13. And how come they did not remember their Keyblades? Blame Xehanort. Same thing goes for Ventus. He was part of the Dandelions. When Xehanort found him, what happened exactly? Did his memories get wiped when his darkness was extracted? I'm not saying Ventus forgot how to wield a Keyblade, he just forgot his past. The same thing goes for the Dandelions, who were perhaps part of the organization, since their memories of being a Dandelion got wiped. At the same time, they forgot about the Keyblades. Careful guys, this is not for all of the organization members. For example, we have Laurium and Larxene. Those two, while Laurium is actually part of the Dandelions. As for Larxene, she could have also been part of that group. Xehanort did something and she lost all of her memories of the past. Now I want to go over something extra about this Laurium character. He was part of the Dandelions, okay, considering how he entered that same realm, the realm of sleep, most likely. He killed Strelitzia. It's not confirmed, we just think it's possible. Maybe Blaine is to blame, we never know. Laurium was never meant to be one of the Union leaders, therefore his memories were supposed to be wiped. Or were they? Why would he even get involved in this? Was he like eavesdropping on Ephemera and Scald, for example? Did he want to become a leader just like that? Killing someone is pretty severe extreme lengths to go to. So I guess it's part of his nature? Maybe that's why he's called the Graceful Assassin? Anyways, back to Ava. Where is she? If she followed them to the realm of sleep, as instructed by the Master of Masters, is she still alive? Out there somewhere. Ventus said to come to the Keyblade graveyard once everything was over, as if he had spoken to her recently. And plus, if we look at the cutscenes with Strelitzia, it said a few days later. If this truly takes place around Birth by Sleep, around the time Xehanort finds Ventus, Ava could still be alive and well, grown up, simply, and she could still be holding the Book of Prophecies. That book was supposed to be given to the child circled in red, one of the 5 Union leaders, most likely Ventus, I'd say. Now it didn't seem like he had the book with him, it could still be with Ava. Stuff didn't go as planned and I guess she got afraid, I guess she decided to hold on to it for a bit longer. What if Maleficent has the book? Didn't she enter the book? If we look at this cutscene right here? Well, maybe. Either the book conjured the future state of Enchanted Dominion as the player saw, or Maleficent did enter the book somehow, if she found it. Now in one of the newest Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, she's already looking for that black box, the box Luxu is holding on to. Why isn't she looking for the book? Did she find it? And was the black box mentioned in the book? I doubt, and here's why. Because the foretellers would have known about that box, they all had a copy of that book. Unless it's a situation like the lost page, the page which contained information about the traitor. What if Ava is holding on to the original book, the Master's book? Could Maleficent have found that version? That could explain why she's looking for the black box suddenly. I know what you guys are gonna say right now. Okay, Laurium is part of the Organization 13. Master Ava could be alive, alright. Ventus is Ventus, alright. He's sleeping in Castle Oblivion. What about Scald, Ephemera, and Blaine? What happened to those characters? I'm gonna go on ahead and say that they grew up and something happened. They might appear in Kingdom Hearts 3 just like Master Ava. And there's no such thing as coincidence with Tetsuya Nomura. For the 2nd anniversary of Union Cross in Japan, people can receive the Ava medal. Could that be a subtle hint? Just like how we got a fox on Sora's lap in the 15th anniversary art by Tetsuya Nomura. How about that? Hey, I could be overthinking this, but you never know. But other than that guys, this is it for the video, so as usual, leave all of your thoughts in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree with some parts in the video, mention it in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you for watching.